Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Something Something podcast. My name is Eric Kasloff, and with me, as always, is Larry Sands. Say hello, Larry.
Hello, Larry.
And how have you
Or,
been, good sir?
oh well, I've been good. I've been busy actually. I've been editing a couple of things that by the time everybody listens to this, should be out. So working with some like small little businesses and stuff, doing some branding stuff. So keeping busy, keeping busy. I know, right now, as we do this podcast, I'm in Texas, doing some work, and it's really hot. It's like it was 102 today, I think,
Oh, my God.
and with humidity. So it's very, how should I say it? It's very nasty outside.
I
So
could
yeah,
imagine.
but yeah, other than that, doing good, doing good. Keeping the creative juices flowing. How are you, Eric?
I am doing good on two ends. The rewrites for Hillsborough Road, my slasher movie, is getting better and better. By the time this comes out, I'll already talk about other stuff. It was originally set in the 80s, but as I went through the next rewrite, I set it in the 90s, mainly because I was born in 81, so I was a little kid in the 80s. The 90s
Mm-hmm.
were the
Yeah.
decade that I appreciated the most. So
Okay.
writing is going well. I'm doing my own YouTube videos also. But something big happened this Sunday. I adopted a dog.
Yay, he's so cute. And I say I got it right. Because if you look back on Instagram, I got it wrong.
And more about
But
Instagram in a second. Me and my mom adopted a Yorkie. His name when we got him was Hershey, but we quickly changed it to Chewy. And
nice, nice.
he has just been an absolute blast to play with. And he has his own Instagram. Now, again, he
Yes, he
runs
does.
this Instagram. I have nothing to do with it. And his goal is to have more followers than you.
Well, I only have 5 followers,
No,
so,
you have
I mean,
347.
347.
Yeah, that's what you're up to.
Don't really? That's pretty
Oh,
good, actually.
yeah,
As we do this, I'm checking my Instagram.
he's up to 20. So he is hot
Oh
on
man,
your trail.
he is hot on my trail. That's hilarious. I'm gonna get you, Chewy Kasloff. He's so cute. He's so cute, Eric. He's so cute. My dog needs to meet your dog, Cupcake and Chewy. There you
Well,
go.
the thing
There
is,
you
I
go.
don't know how good he is with other dogs yet.
Other dog, yeah.
He's great with adults. And from the phone call my mom and your mom talked, not that good with kids yet.
No, not yet. Yeah, yeah, that's a little tricky, but anyway, so yeah, no, man, everything sounds like it's going good. I sure do miss you, but I can't wait to get to the Hillsborough Road, man, and
Yeah,
start working on it.
more and
I'm
more
excited.
excited about this movie every day. But I think I should do a mock trailer for it, Larry, because a
You
trailer
know,
could
uh-huh.
really help people get into a movie. Don't you think that?
Well, as a matter of fact, it's funny you should mention that because our guest this week has just that. And it's not really a mock trailer, kind of. Could it be? No, I don't know. Let's go ahead and ask and find out everything there is to know about his creative life. Harry, it is nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's a pleasure.
So let's start this off right. Welcome to the Something Something podcast. Now, what we're a creative podcast, and we love to start like talking about the creative stuff and finding out everything that you do as a creative individual. But one of the things that I like to do is find out a backstory before we get into your creative life now. So tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into it.
Well, my name is Harry Yuan. I'm Asian American, and I let's see, I grew up in LA, and I mean, what do you want to know? I mean, there's so much that goes into my creative self.
Everything.
I think the biggest thing that goes into my creative self is the fact that my mom is a famous Chinese actress. She is in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon as Jade Fox. That's what she's known for.
What?
Here in the US.
Wow.
And
oh my goodness.
and in Asia, she is, I mean, in China and all across Asia, she's very well known. She does so many movies. She is still at 71 or 2, something like that, 71 or 2, a working actress. Which, I mean, can you imagine being a working actress at 72 and still having major roles for you? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes. So that's congratulations to your mom. That's very, very good.
I'm
most actors can't work after 50.
I'm awestruck right now because I love that movie so much.
It is a classic, that's for sure. Which is funny calling something a classic that came out in 2000.
I know.
That's kind of weird. That's very weird. That's weird how stuff works out. Tell us a little bit about how you grew up and how you decided to become a filmmaker.
Well, I grew up, away from my mother a lot because when she went back to work when she was 40. She had a break from her life. She had a break from movies for life, if you will, and decided to have kids. And she had kids with my dad. And, 20 years in, I think maybe actually 25 years in, they decided it wasn't right. They weren't working out, but, they still had these kids. She had these dreams she wanted to chase. So she moved back to Hong Kong. I stayed home with my father for a few years, and then I ended up going to boarding military school, actually. And so that's basically kind of where that started. And I mean, when I was growing up, she had her own network. It was called Star Network, which is essentially the network that is now the Chinese network in the U.S. Was started by my mother and then bought out, and there was a lot of financial difficulties that happened during that particular time period because she was kind of ahead of her time at that particular time period.
Yeah, you can say that again.
That's very cool.
So is it from your mom that you got the movie and creative bug?
Yeah, I mean, I think that has always been something. I have 3 sisters, and every single one of us is involved in some way, shape, or form in the entertainment industry. 2 of them are actresses. The third one is also an actress, but she's my producer and business partner as well.
Wow. Are you the oldest or like
I'm the baby. Only son, youngest.
Okay, so you were spoiled like crazy is what I'm guessing.
No, I mean, I think that's the natural assumption that people will have towards the youngest and only boy. Certainly was spoiled, from my parents, especially my mother, not really my dad. But you get a different kind of thing from your sisters, especially when you have 3 older sisters. Older sisters mess with you in a different way than older brothers. You know what I mean? Like if I had older brothers, they probably gonna beat me up and toughen me up, kind of thing. But older sisters, they get a little bit more creative. I mean, women are so creative with the way that they do things, so they're a lot more cunning with how they mess with you.
Yeah, I'm the oldest of 3. I have 2 younger sisters, and I was awful to them growing up.
Right.
because it's our birthright as the oldest child to be mean to the younger siblings. It's a must.
So my sisters were all really, I mean, they weren't terrible, but I don't think we got along as as human beings until we were all adults, which means I might have been 19 or 20 before all my sisters and I kind of clicked in. And we've clicked into our roles. We don't really fight as much anymore, as much being the key word in there. But there's this kind of acceptance to who each one is, and we work together in some capacity. The movie I've been shooting, Cooking for Two. My youngest sister is the lead in the film. My middle sister is in the film as well as a supporting role, but also assistant director and helped me produce this film. So we work together really, really well. I mean, if you have siblings, you really can't trust anybody more than your siblings. It's impossible. You have such a history. When someone's there from the moment that you're born, that you're alive, you're going to have history with them.
Totally,
yeah. Yep, for sure. Now, I have a brother, and it's weird. It's weird. It's just weird. So anyway, what?
I love that me and Harry had these stories about our siblings, but Larry just like, yeah, I got a brother, and that's all I got to say about that.
No, and actually, we actually have done, because my brother got into filmmaking, I guess, because, I started out as an actor, and I got him into filmmaking, and we shot a couple things, just messing around, and now he's like doing more photography and video work, and so we kind of have like he's inspired me to become more of a filmmaker, and obviously I don't know how I've inspired him, but but
funny how that works out.
But I know, right? But as seeing him, with the camera and doing the editing had, got me like going, I think I could do this too, like, and be a little bit more creative and always seem like to work a little bit more than an actor does. So, but yeah, he inspired me to pick up the camera and do the other side of the camera. So yeah. Cool. So it's very good. Yeah. Oh gosh, I forgot what I was going to say because, oh my good. I know.
I'll step ahead of me. What were some of your What were some of your influences that get into filmmaking? Like what directors, in movies in particular, made you go, yeah, I want that too?
I'm like actually more on the action side of things that I really enjoy. But I really love Guy Ritchie as a director.
He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love Guy Ritchie as a director. I mean, how can you not like Ang Lee as a director? John Woo.
Except for the Hulk movie. That's the one blemish on his record.
Right. Well, I mean, you're allowed a mulligan, guys. You're allowed a mulligan.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when Hollywood's sitting there knocking at your door, giving you a ton of money to do some sort of thing, and you're like, all right, fine. And like, it's hard. I mean, it's so funny to watch people insult some directors for doing a movie and it wasn't as good. Like Guy Ritchie's, Sherlock Holmes from Guy Ritchie isn't his best. Like I mean, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch. Those are like instant classics, right? And then when you get into Sherlock Holmes, you're like, okay, you kind of cashed in there. But have you guys seen King Arthur?
Exactly. Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but I
think he redeemed himself with King Arthur with this.
Really?
I think it just took him a second to get into this mode of doing stuff with Hollywood. Like when it's not just you that influences everybody at that point. It's the other people that are influencing you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you have a major production or house, like, Sony Pictures or something like that, knocking your door, telling you how to do things. And they're like, well, if you don't do it this way, you're not going to get the movie. You kind of sit there and you're like, well, I kind of want to still do this movie. And unfortunately, a lot of filmmaking is negotiation.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
a lot of people were, wanted to kill Rian Johnson because he killed Luke Skywalker. And I'm like, do you really?
Wait, what?
You didn't see Last Jedi?
Spoiler alert.
Come on. Well,
Not yet.
Like, he didn't just walk into Disney and go, hey, listen, I want to kill off one of the most iconic film characters ever. No, he was told to do that. But then again, with Ann Lee, no matter what, he still did Crouching Tiger and Brokeback Mountain, two absolute classic movies that you could never take anything away from.
No, definitely not. And that's not even including all his Chinese films.
Exactly. Yeah.
And of course, Tarantino, who doesn't, like that's, I mean, growing up, it pains me to say that I'm a millennial because I'm in like the cusp millennial, right? Like, I think it's 1983 or 1982 that millennial is, and I'm an 85 baby. So like,
I'm 81, so I don't know where I fit in.
Generation Z, or something like that. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like I'm in this kind of cusp kind of time period, and I'm just sort of like, okay, well, but Tarantino's films were such a huge influence on me at that particular time period.
Oh yeah, he is. I just got his box set of all his movies, and I also got Hateful Eight the same day, and it was bothering me that it wasn't in the box set. So I took a 2-disc Blu-ray that I didn't like, put both Kill Bill movies into that so that I could fit Hateful Eight into the box.
Wow.
Are you foaming at the mouth for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I haven't actually, I haven't been keeping up with it. So no, I have not.
Oh, it's going to be so good. You know what it's about?
No.
It's all about the Sharon Tate murders.
Wow.
DiCaprio and Brad Pitt are the next door neighbors.
Wow.
Brad Pitt is an DiCaprio is an actor, and Brad Pitt is his stuntman. And it's like them trying to make it while all this is going on.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking forward to that.
Did you have any formal training like film school, or did you just pick up a camera and go?
So I had some training from, little small private classes, but not actual film school. I took some editing, like back when DSLRs came out for, like the 5D Mark II. When the Canon Mark II came out, 5D Mark II, they had a bunch of courses that were coming out, and I started taking courses with them. And then I had some stuff I did with Travel Channel to do Travel Channel type videos. And then from there, it's been kind of trial and error and meeting other people that have done film school, meeting other people that have done films and working and collaborating. Because, a lot of this is on the job experience.
That's the best way to
Agreed.
learn. I went to a community college to study film, and they never taught me a class called "What do you do when you're on your first night of filming and your actress forgets all of her wardrobe and you gotta redo your entire schedule to fit into what happened." The day they teach that at film school, I would tell people, yes, you need to go to film school. But till then,
yeah. I mean, I think it's going to improve over the years. Think about how long film has been around. And then you think about trying to create it's not science. Science has been around, or math. How about math? That's the easier one. How long has math? Math's been around since the beginning of time. The first, or accounting, I should say, even. Because the first sketches on a cave wall was, okay, you owe me 3 horses. Right?
And it's funny you mentioned that Canon Mark II, because that's like the camera that launched a million filmmakers.
Yeah.
And I think people forgot how important that camera was.
Oh, I still have it.
Awesome.
It has now become my Burning Man camera, but I still have it.
I collect old cameras that are broken. So I've got the jewel of my collection is those old VHS cameras that like weigh a ton.
I remember those.
In fact, I could show it to you, Larry. Keep talking. No
Yeah,
one else will get to see this, but our guests.
I remember those cameras when I was a kid.
This is the jewel of my camera collection.
Oh my God.
It came with the box, the battery, and lenses.
Wow. How many cameras you got?
I've got 5.
Oh, he's a collector.
Yeah, I have 4. I have a tech cemetery in my room where I put all my broken technology. You
guys should interview my director of photography next, because you should see that man has my DOP has so many cameras as well. He's got like an entire wall of them as well, and not just video cameras, film cameras as well.
That's what I want to start collecting next. Film cameras or old movie projectors.
Ooh, old movie projectors.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one. And to screen different films on them. That'd be amazing.
That would be like in my backyard.
That would be cool.
So what was awesome. Like the first, did you start doing like shorts on your own, and what genre did you I know you liked action, but it's really hard to make an action movie your first time.
No, I actually still have not yet made an action film. I've done a lot of fitness videos, that kind of stuff, but I did my very first film that I would say, quote unquote film, is really just like a thank you to my mother.
Okay.
Talking about like a family home video. It's not really even, it was a tribute. It was like basically a documentary about all of us being grateful and thankful to our mother, and then B-roll of our trip. So it was a very travel-esque thing, but it was like a dedication to my mother.
Okay.
And from there, I started making a lot more travel videos. My background is actually in travel videos, and I started it off as a host for National Geographic, as well as creating, 80 to 100 travel videos, short travel videos with my travel partner, Bruce. We backpacked around the world.
Is that the guy you're on YouTube with?
Yes, that's the guy I'm on YouTube with.
There will be a link to your YouTube channel and all your social media. There'll be links in the description.
Great. Wow. Thank you. I hope everyone enjoys what I have.
I've enjoyed it. Your stuff looks amazing, man. It's really good.
Thank you.
And I got to say, out of all the guests we've had on, you've had the best sound. So thank you very much for having a headset microphone.
Right here.
Awesome.
As a matter of fact, you do a podcast, don't you, Harry?
I do a podcast called Chasing Adventure.
That's cool. And yeah, tell us.
Well, it's literally about people that are out there chasing an adventure. So the first guest is my mom, surprise, surprise, because she chased the adventure of being an actress, right? Like it doesn't necessarily have to be with chasing an adventure that is an action or an outdoor sport adventure. It has to do with a lot of different adventures. So I have guests that are rock climbers to circus performers, race car drivers in our first season.
Wow, our most out there guest so far has been a professional wrestler.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Or
he was with the WWF.
He was. Right now, he
WWF,
wrestles for New Japan and ROH.
Yep.
Lance Hoyt. You could look him up.
Cool.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, it was really cool. And Eric is the biggest wrestling fan ever. And he was just like, he was fanboying everywhere. It almost like how he was kind of like, oh my God, oh, your mom, oh, this is great. It's even more hardcore with him because, and there's like certain lingo, right? That wrestling fans have. And you
Oh
know,
man,
and it's
I'm sure
just,
you know all of that.
yeah. Oh, Eric, he went
Eric, you know all
crazy,
of
and yeah,
In fact,
yeah.
there was stuff realistically we couldn't. I didn't feel right explaining with Lance on the show because I could get in trouble for that.
Got it.
But no. So, how long have you been doing your podcast?
I only have done one season. I did it at the beginning of this year, and we're releasing it right now. We have two. Last episode is coming out either this Friday or next Friday.
Okay, and again, link for the send us the link, and there'll be
Absolutely.
links to it in the description.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I should probably have thought of I might do a bonus episode with interviewing the process of how this film was done, actually, because that's something that I did. That adventure, I mean, guys, I started and did this film because I was audacious enough to say, oh, I can make a film. Sure, let's try this. And that in itself, I want to tell anybody that's out there trying to make a film, you want to go to film school, make a film.
Amen.
That will teach you
Right.
everything that you can do wrong. And right.
Yeah.
Well, you know
Yep.
what? Let's dive head on in for the rest of the show, talking about, we'll get on tangents, but tell us like the name of your movie, what's it about, and the whole backstory to it.
The movie's called Cooking for Two. I did it because I was watching my sister's cabaret show, and her co-creator of the cabaret show and co-singer of the cabaret show, they had such good chemistry on stage. And I said, I really would love to make a film with you two in it. My mom overheard this, and then she said, okay, let's try to do this. What if I find some funding for you? What if we do this? And my mom kind of was the catalyst to get this film made. And my sister and I sat down, we wrote the script, and my sister, so Jennifer, and I sat down and wrote the script. Marcia, the lead of the film, her boyfriend at the time, Kevin So, and her were, like they were wanting to work together. So we basically, he was a musical director and songwriter, and so he created the songs, we created the scripts, and then we outlined and mapped out this whole thing. And we had 20 days because that's all we could afford. We were using all borrowed equipment that was a favor for my mother, that my mother cashed in. And we just came, we did it, and we that was it. Like, we shot it, I edited it, and tried to, talk about editing something on a MacBook Pro, shooting in 5K because we wanted the best quality possible. I mean,
what did you edit on?
The film was edited on Premiere.
Yes, thank you so much for using a real editing software. Because let's be honest, Final Cut is a little kids editing software. It's mainly what little girls use to do their makeup hauls on YouTube. Let's be honest about that, right, guys?
I mean, like, once Apple decided to add 10 to anything, they've destroyed it, I feel like. Anytime you add something, that's when Apple fails.
Exactly. I don't like anything Apple. I'm a Windows guy for my laptop, and phones, I am a Galaxy person.
Wow. You really don't like Apple.
No.
I recently broke my iPhone, and I had to go to the Apple store and got it repaired. With the Apple Care, you get, you pay $100 and they replace my phone, which I was pretty stoked about. But then I realized I paid $250 for this Apple Care thing anyway. So basically, if you have Apple Care and you haven't utilized a replacement of your phone, you're not getting your money's worth already. You need to replace your phone at least once to make Apple Care worth it.
Okay, so tell us like the story of the movie. Like, what's it about exactly?
Well, I don't want to give it all away.
Well, just the gist.
It basically follows. The story is set in Marcia, my sister. She's the lead in the film, and the film is designed to be in her universe. So when you're watching Marcia in this film, you're watching what literally goes on between the ears of Marcia Yuan. Okay.
Okay.
My interpretation of it, if you will. And so it's her musical. So there's a lot of musical numbers going through.
Okay.
I would describe it as an Asian Flight of the Conchords, almost.
Okay. Take my money. You've got it. Take my
Right.
money.
Okay, good. And I mean, a lot of the style of how we did things was having to do with, like, you know, that style of Flight of the Conchords, just being able to go through a scene and then being like, oh, time to bust into a song. But then again, that's all musicals.
But I'm guessing no racist dragon song, right?
No racist. I'll be the racist dragon. No
Oh
dice.
man. It
I
would be
love that.
great if you could work it in though.
Yeah. So it's about two cooking show hosts. My sister is the more well-versed cooking show host, and then she's paired with a YouTube cooking show host, which she's like, why am I getting paired with this guy? He doesn't even know how to cook. So that's kind of the conflict of the film, which is kind of what happens, right? Like, that's what's happening in our society. So it's in a way mocking what's happening in our society. It's in a way talking about, you know, real issues that are going on in society, but in a lighthearted musical.
You know,
Nice.
like going about things a lighthearted way is always better than hammering a message over somebody's head. Because if you
Yeah.
can get someone laughing and thinking, then you could change the way they think.
Yeah.
And
I
I
mean,
like how you have a, you know, more of an established thing going up against a new, I'm doing air quotes, new media kind of thing, like with YouTube.
right. Right. I mean, ultimately, what's happening in society right now, or at least in our industry, because I'm going through it. I host for National Geographic, so National Geographic Asia I've done like 6 shows for them, and they're going through some times where they're like, oh my God, we don't know what to do. We have all these shows that we thought were good, and now people are going to these other things that are online, and so there's this shift, and so that's kind of, it's a little bit about the shift that's happening in specific with Asia. It's happening, but it's also about all the things that are still kind of going on that are prevalent in our society. The lighthearted portion of it, I mean, you know, packaging it in the musical fashion. Musicals are generally upbeat, I would say. Generally, not all, but for the
I
most
can
part,
name a
they're upbeat.
few not upbeat ones, you know, like
Like I said,
Les Miserables.
yeah, right. That's not quite. I mean, for a war, it's pretty upbeat. Think
Doesn't
about
that
it that way.
mean I heard, doesn't that mean the miserable, or like it's something negative, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's the fluffy version. I mean, Les Miserables. I mean, like, yes, there's a song and there's all this stuff, but there's not really bloodshed so much in Les Miserables, right? Like it's like you kind of see it, but you don't. That's the thing about a musical, is that it's more about this fictitious positive world that you live in, and it's nice because guess what? Our world that we live in right now is a little dark. So
Yeah.
this light-hearted world that we're trying to bring people to is just kind of this light, fluffy thing, but it's also kind of saying it's okay. We can give you something that's not so harsh, but also tell you the truth.
Awesome. Hey Larry, you there?
I am. I
Okay.
am. I'm in awe of you guys. And this is why I like our podcast so much, because, you know, sometimes I'm a participant, but other times I just sit back and I love to listen to people, and I love to talk to people who are so into their craft and what they do, and it's so inspiring to me how everybody just goes and they do what they do, and they don't, and how. So when you decided to do this movie, or when you were thinking about it, did you have some apprehension at all, or was it just like, okay, let's go, let's do balls to the wall, or was there kind of like a minute where you're like, oh man, I don't know if we should?
It was balls to the wall. There was
Good.
no singular doubt in my mind until we finished the film, and I was like, oh wow, okay, we got this. How are we going to get this thing distributed? How are we going to do all this stuff? So the other end of the story, this movie was fast to shoot, fast to edit, but a little bit slow to get out there. And
Mhm.
it that's the side of things that I'm not as good at, and that's the film school that I really been going through. To be completely honest, the shooting of this film, and not to, and the thing is, we shot this in 2015, right? 2015, we shot this. It could very much be better than it is already. I will tell you, because any director in their right mind probably would say to you that in the present moment that they're talking about it, they can do better. Because no matter what, as an artist, you only see the errors, not only, but you see all the errors that you could have done better, and then you're like, okay, I got to just take that for next time. So it's really difficult for me to watch my own film, without and enjoy it. Because every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, I could have fixed that. I could have fixed that. It's never over.
100% same with me. One of my shorts got into a bunch of film festivals, and when I would watch it, I don't watch it for fun, because to me, a filmmaker, any artist watching their own thing for enjoyment is kind of like pleasuring yourself to a picture of yourself.
Yeah.
But whenever I see my short, I'm like, oh my God, they don't see that problem right there. Look at that light. You can't tell that? What is wrong with you people? This sucks.
But what you have that they don't have is time under tension, time watching the film, and time and being so close to it. What is it? The wizard has been revealed to you.
Yeah, I use that analogy all the time.
Yep. What was it? So you just started shooting, and then when did the realization of how are we gonna market this thing and get it out? When did that occur? Like during the shoot?
After I finished editing, after I finished getting everything together, we were trying to get it to film festivals, and it's not the same kind of thing that film festivals like. Film festivals like dark movies generally. Yeah. I mean, with the exception of like Little Miss Sunshine and a handful of movies that are upbeat, they like very dark kind of genre of things. So we would go into film festivals, and we didn't really get any film festivals that wanted. I mean, also, when you're submitting to one of these film festivals, you're looking at submitting in a competition of thousands of people. So if you don't already know somebody in the festival, you don't do anything, then you can't get in. And then we finally got into Hawaii International Film Festival in 2016, in November of 2016, and it was an amazing one, because there's a lot of errors that happen on the film festival side that like a couple volunteers didn't show up to pass out ballots or anything along those lines. I've been to a few film festivals in my life. That was the first time I was watching my film in front of an audience. And
feeling in the world.
You know what I'm talking about. I do stand-up comedy as well, so I understand that element of nervousness, and that was what was going on. And what was amazing was we got a standing ovation at the end of the film.
Awesome. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Like the entire auditorium stood up, clapped, and stayed for the Q&A. Stayed.
Wow.
And they were like, when is this coming out? We want to, and so it is one of those things. It is one of those films that I think just needed its right time to shine. And with Crazy Rich Asians coming out, there's a little bit of a limelight towards the Asian population. This is a completely different.
I was about the lead into questions about that. Most people, when they see me, would think I'm white, but I'm not. I'm a gypsy. Those people that want to read your fortune and fix your car. So I'm ethnic, but you being an Asian person, the way Asian and Asian Americans are treated in movies,
it's a damn shame.
And now it's either The Wise Mentor, and I love Mr. Miyagi was awesome.
Yeah.
But you're either that or
Kung Fu Master.
Exactly. And those roles, and I'll admit, I love Chow Yun-fat and John Woo. I like all that stuff, but there is a dark time and a disrespect towards Asian Americans. Mickey Rooney in the Audrey Hepburn movie. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that is disgraceful.
Yeah.
That scene in that movie.
Well,
Breakfast
Hollywood
at Tiffany's. That's it. Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Hollywood has been dumbing down particularly Asian men, for the longest time. I mean, this is something that's been going on since before Hollywood. Okay, and the emasculating Asian males has been going on since the 1800s, or if I'm not corrected. And it started with a book of this white guy that basically got yellow fever. It's basically a book about it. The white guy that got yellow fever and started bad mouthing Asian men, saying, "Oh, we can take over," and it's basically, a guy that's like Donald Trump that took over a bunch of Asian women and then just decided to write about it. And then that's kind of what has been held since. Well, hopefully we're in a time where that doesn't have to be that way anymore. That people don't have to sit there and be like, oh, Asian men, oh no, and so socially, I think we're at a time where we can kind of break through with that, and the lead male in this film, Rick, is, like with Asian people that I have showed this film to, he's not this conventional, what Asian people can consider conventionally good looking.
Okay.
So he has a different look to him. And so a lot of the old school Asian people that I've seen this film were like, he's not handsome enough. And I'm like, he's plenty handsome. He's plenty handsome. He's just, he's like, it's just his demeanor is more goofy, and the way he is. And so it is very interesting because he doesn't have the stereotypical Asian features that they were wanting. But I think that's what makes him so charming and so approachable for this film.
And real is the better word, right?
Real. That's it. And because if he was too good looking, no one would believe it.
Yeah. Now, did you have like this chip on your shoulder while making it, because it's, from what I saw in the trailer, an all Asian cast, and you have a niche audience that you want to reach? I mean, of course, other people are going to see it, but they're going to look at it as, oh, the Asian movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm a firm believer in integrating people. I don't think we should have Asian films. I don't think we should have Black films, Latino films. I want film.
Agreed.
Right. This happened to be an all Asian cast because it takes place in Hong Kong. I mean, there are a couple white guys in the film throughout, because I had some. I mean, that's how Hong Kong is. It's, in order for it to be true to Hong Kong, there's mostly Chinese people in Hong Kong. Yeah. Like just like Crazy Rich Asians, there's an all Asian cast, so that's the big hype about it. But if you listen to the interviews, they're talking about it and they're saying, I didn't try to make this, an all Asian film. Every character is an Asian person. Now Hollywood tried to make the lead a white person.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They always do. They all look at Ghost in a Shell. Not to say that I don't love seeing Scarlett Johansson, but that's, I mean, yeah, sure, it's an ambiguous character, but it should have been a Japanese.
Exactly, yeah. And there were, I liked it. I really liked, I love the anime way more, obviously, but she did a pretty decent job in it. But think what it would have done for young Asian girls to see an Asian woman in that role.
Right. I mean, it's like, Matt Damon doing Great Wall, or Tom Cruise doing Last Samurai. I mean, guys, this is too deep of a racism now. Like, there's a subliminal, okay, we get it. The white guy's the hero every single time. I think the audience is ready for a non-white dude to be hero.
Totally. One thing, Keanu Reeves should play Spike in the Cowboy Bebop movie. I will fight anyone to the death if they disagree with me on that. Just watch John Wick.
He's so good in John Wick. I thought Keanu made a good comeback in John Wick. I'm a big fan of John Wick.
Do you like Cowboy Bebop?
I do like Cowboy Bebop. You know,
Do
I
you
haven't
think? Don't you
gotten a
think
chance
he
to
would
watch a
be?
lot.
He'd be good as Spike. That's like the one
Oh,
time. Come on, let's whitewash it just this one time, please.
I mean, Keanu's a halfie.
Hmm?
He's half.
Is he?
Yeah,
I always thought he was when I watched it.
yeah, he's mixed.
Okay,
He might
okay.
not be half. He might not be half, but it's still, you know, like that's the other thing about it is that so with Crazy Rich Asians, one of the things that was going on was that they're saying that the lead was half Asian. You know, like, oh, he's half Asian. He's not full. He should be put. God, it doesn't matter. You know, was Obama a black president? Yeah, he's still half. But you know what? Once he became a president, then he was black. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, this is ridiculous. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is that we're mixing this and that we're not only giving it to one race, because that's just the same. That, you might as well be, you know, it might as well be Adolf Hitler that's calling the shots then.
Yeah, and I think when a movie's good, I haven't seen Crazy Rich Asians yet, but look at My Big Fat Greek Wedding. When that movie hit, every race was going, oh, that could have been called My Big Fat Italian Wedding, My Big
Yeah,
Fat Black
blank.
Wedding, My Big
Yeah,
Fat White Wedding, because people are people when you really, really look deep into it. We all have the same likes and dislikes. You know, everybody has a weird uncle, a crazy aunt. So I think like when people see your movie, they'll see, hey, they're just people going through human stuff and it's funny.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's
Once again, I am really in awe because I'm here, and it's unfortunate that we're not like have like video on us because I'm shaking my head, I'm laughing to myself, going, yeah, that's right. And I love listening. I love again being this time. I feel like a spectator, and I'm a fan of you guys. So I don't
yeah,
know,
but
man. I think it's just important. Yeah.
you've got it a little easier though, because you're a good looking white blonde boy. You know? Like,
Well, okay,
you're
I mean,
everything
yourself.
we're talking,
Hey, good for
you're
you. I mean,
everything that's
that's the
keeping
other
us
thing.
down.
I think we've taken our appropriation a little too far sometimes in society,
I
because a
know.
lot of, you know, like there's definitely people that are out there that are like, yo, like I don't, I'm not trying to discriminate about any of these things. You know, I'm trying to give up my quote unquote white privilege. At some point, like it's like not beating this dead horse. It's like integrate. Oh, okay, cool. As long as we
Exactly.
integrate, that's what matters.
And art is the best way to do that, whether it be film,
Ditto. Yep.
television, music, literature. So, what is your plans for distribution? Are you going to try to self distribute with like
We are
forwarding and things like that?
we are self-distributing. We are releasing on iTunes and Amazon on October 4th.
Okay.
And you can get the film there, and then we'll end up taking it through Amazon route or whatnot. But you know, this is one of those things where you're supporting the independent filmmaker by, you know, buying the film or renting the film on Amazon or iTunes. The
Yep.
pre-orders of Cooking for Two will come out on iTunes on September 4th, which is something super exciting for me. And I'm currently working on really hard, as you can tell. I'm working really hard on getting the film's music on all platforms as well, so that way people that watch the film and love the music can actually listen to the film, because the film's music is, you know, like it is amazing. It is great. And I think I I was interviewed for In Entertainment recently, and they asked me, what point do you think you know you made it for this film? And I said, when I walk down the street and a random stranger is singing one of the songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you want to get
Yep.
it like on Spotify, Apple
Yeah,
Music,
it's
all
on.
that
It'll be
stuff?
on.
Yeah.
People can buy it, or people can, you know, people can purchase it, or they can stream it. And of course, we
Nice.
would always love people that purchase, because you're when people purchase a film, when people purchase music, they're saying we support the artists, we support their endeavor. You know, it's not like I'm going to be getting Rick and Marsha around to do concerts. This is a soundtrack, and this is, you know, that's what it is. You know, like when you're talking about a band, that's where most bands make their money now, is that they tour. And when they
Exactly. Yeah.
tour, that's when they make their money. And we've passed the age where CDs make money anymore.
Actually,
Yeah.
vinyl is the only music physical media that's still making money.
Well, dude, it's coming back with a vengeance. I got a record player, and I got to tell you, it sounds better.
Yeah. I haven't got
Yep.
a record player yet, but I bought an old TV with a VCR built in. And my thing is collecting old VHS movies. And a lot of new horror movies are being released on VHS. So that's my hipster thing that I got going on.
Hey, you gotta have there's certain preservations that we should have. If we all only go to, here's the thing. What if the world had a giant electromagnetic pulse and all of our data got wiped just like that? We need the records, we need the VHSs, we need all those other things just so that we still have something. And it's not to say, we like to think that we're going to go digital forever. But these hard drives are sitting out in the middle of the desert somewhere getting air conditioned. And it's not to say that if there's a massive power out that we're going to be able to get it all back on. Our world as we know it now could be different. And that's why those analog things need to be preserved.
Now, with all that said, would you plan on doing like a DVD release of Cooking for Two, like a limited run?
I would. I mean, if the demand was there, I would totally do a limited run DVD release. I certainly, at this juncture in time, this is the first wave. Like it's just like doing a musical sing along. I would love to do. That's another thing that I would love to do.
So much fun, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, like that.
All that.
Yeah, I mean, I want this film to have that kind of stuff because the songs, the everything is so fun that I think people would. I mean, ultimately, what I wanted to do when I created this film was bring joy into people's lives, and I think that that's what it does.
The trailer did it for me. I don't want to give away, but there one song near the end of it really had put a smile on my face because it was so different than anything else I've seen of, in other trailers.
Yeah. Like I said, the Flight of the Conchords elements come out.
Yeah.
There.
And, now that I think about it, I do see that influence. I can't wait to see the movie, but there will be a link to the trailer so you guys can all get a taste for what's going on.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool. Yes. Well, actually, before we wrap up, I know I haven't said a whole lot. I can't say it enough. I mean,
again?
Huh?
Are you drunk again?
No, I'm Larry, a good listener.
Larry, be honest. It's me. Are you drunk again?
Wait, where am I?
If you're in California, I'd ask if you're stoned. But
right, no doubt.
That's not legal.
No, not yet. But I'm sure it will be.
Let's hope. Sure. They'll make a lot of money, I'm sure.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, everybody that does it, yeah. Oh yeah. But I just tell you, I am in awe of you, Harry. I am a fan, and I know I just met you and stuff, but you're out there doing it. You're out there creating and doing and following what you want to do. So, and that means a lot to obviously me, but I think to a lot of people that are gonna be listening. I think that you are going to be a great success, and just by listening to you, you're like super smart and you're super creative and you're super talented, and I just thank you for sharing your thoughts and ideas and your creativity and your life with us today. So thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure. It's a pleasure to be an honor to be on the show as well.
And I am going to second everything that Larry says. Well, we're recording this on August 22nd. It'll be up near the middle of September, and we will keep pushing it even more around October before the film is released on iTunes. So everyone, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Remember to follow Chewy Kasloff on Instagram so he can have more followers than Larry Sands. And of course, our buddy Harry's, all of his social media stuff will be in the description below. Subscribe to his YouTube channel and definitely buy Cooking for Two when it comes out on iTunes. Thank you for listening this week, everyone. Have an awesome day.